Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's personal development lesson. I am your host, as always, Joel Dunn. Today, we are going to be going over something that is so important for leaders. If you see the title, you know today we're going to be talking about execution. But not just doing the action, not just getting the things done, doing it when it counts. Because here's the thing, everybody wants to win. But very few people know how to execute when it actually matters. It's because it's one of those things where it's easy to be motivated when things are going well. But it's different when you as the leader are tired because you're responsible for so many people. Maybe when results aren't showing up yet, or the doubt starts creeping in, or pressure is increasing from your team. That's when separation happens. Execution is what separates the people that talk about it from the people who are actually building something, who are actually doing something. So today I want to give you 5 things leaders do when it's time to execute. So number 1, they execute regardless of emotion. Most people are emotional performers. They work when it feels good. They slow down when it doesn't. You are the leader. You are the thermostat, not the thermometer. You turn up the heat for you and your team. That's why you as a leader are different. You've trained yourself to execute independent of how you feel. Because here's the thing, we all know that feelings fluctuate. They change. They go from being high to low. But your standards don't. You don't need to be motivated to make the next call, to send the next message, to create the video, to create the post, to do the work, to hit your KPIs. You don't need motivation for that. You just need your standard. If you only moved and did the work when you felt like it, you'd never build anything consistent. Number 2, leaders simplify and focus. When pressure hits, most people tend to overcomplicate. They start overthinking, switching strategies, looking for something new. You as the leader don't do that. You do the opposite. You simplify things. You look at something that actually moves the needle, and then you do that repeatedly over and over again. So think about this. In your business, ask, what are the 2 to 3 activities that you do that actually create results? They may not be the same thing that Stephanie and I do. They may be similar, but do what works for you to create your results. Then execute on those things relentlessly. Because clarity creates power. Focus creates momentum for you and your team. I laugh sometimes because of the way that the camera is. You guys can't see me talking with my hands because I'm talking down here. So I am a hands talker, 10,000%. Number 3, winners close the gap between knowing and doing. So most people on your team already know what they should be doing. They just don't do it consistently. The gap between knowledge and execution is where most people on your team end up getting stuck. And here's the thing, you as the leader, you need to shrink that gap for them. They don't need more information. They simply need a standard to live by. So you, as the leader, you know what it should be. You know what they should be doing. Execution is what turns their potential into their results. Execution also takes your leadership potential and turns it into true leadership. And number 4, leaders raise their standard under pressure, because pressure reveals who people really are. It doesn't create them. When things are hard, some people, they lower their standards. You, as a leader, you lift and raise your standard for your team up. The thing is that you as a leader, you're going to get sharper. You're going to get more disciplined. You're going to get more intentional. You don't say things like, this is hard. You say things like, this is where I separate us from the rest of the crowd, where we take this team to the next level. Because pressure is not the problem. Pressure is the opportunity to raise your standard and to separate yourself. And number 5, leaders finish what they start. Because a lot of people start strong. How many times have you had somebody come up and tell you, I'm going to be the next great leader on your team? And then 2 days later, you can't even get them to answer a text. The thing is that few people finish. They get excited about the beginning. They have things that fade when things get repetitive or challenging. I'm going to say that again because it's so important to understand. Because what we do with our business is repetitive. So that means that excitement is going to fade because they're doing the same thing over and over and over again. But the thing is doing the same thing over and over again compounds results. So you need to help them stay excited when they fade because things get repetitive and challenging. Because leaders finish. Winners finish. They follow through on what they said they were going to do. You stay committed even after the excitement is gone. Because this is the thing that finishing builds. It builds confidence for you and your team. It builds a reputation for you and your team. It also is what delivers the actual results. And that's what we're truly after, right? As a leader, as a winner, you are going for the results. And every time you finish something, you become known as somebody who finishes. Guys, here's the thing. Execution is where everything changes for you. Not just you, but it changes for your team. It's not your goals. It's not your intentions. It's not even your ideas. Those things are all great. But the separator, the determiner, is your execution. So here's some questions for today. Where have I been, feeling ready instead of just executing? And what would happen if I raised my standards starting today? Because at the end of the day, we know this. Winners and leaders aren't the most talented. I mean, I'm living proof of that. They're the most consistent executors when it counts. So determine that you are going to be a consistent executor, not just a thinker, not just an intentioner, not just an idea person. You are going to be an action taker, and you are going to execute, because you never know the exact time when it will count. Guys, I hope these help you. take action, not just for you, but to lead and take action for and with your team. Guys, go out and make it an amazing day, and I hope your week is as awesome as you are.